Hey guys, welcome to today's video where we're talking ebooks. We're talking about what pages you need to put in your ebooks. We're talking about how to structure your ebooks, and we're talking about the important elements that you need to put in your ebook. So if this is something that interests you, stay along for the rest of the video. Hey guys, today's video is all about ebooks. We're talking about what you need to put in your ebook, the things you must not forget to create a great ebook. So if this is something that helps you out, please remember, hit that thumbs up button, and of course hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell so you're notified as and when new content comes onto this channel. So we're talking about ebooks. And a lot of people have a lot of problems with ebooks. They don't know how to create them. They don't know how to create a cover. Those things are, you can overcome them. Okay, there's lots of ways to overcome them. We've actually got videos about that on the channel, so I'm not going to go over old ground. But if you want to check that out, jump across to the channel. As I say, in this book, this video, we are talking specifically about the sections that go into books and pages that you need. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be going over a variety of examples as we go through the video. Okay, but to start with, just talking about a book, a lot of people, when they create an ebook, they kind of forget that it is a book. And they just straight away go into the content, and you lose a lot of connection with the audience, and people don't continue because they haven't been warmed up, so to speak. They're not ready for what they're about to receive. Okay. Now, whenever I talk to people about creating ebooks, I always say, why not just go away and look at a real book? It doesn't matter what the book is, okay? So just to illustrate that, book that I'm reading at the moment, Stephen King book here. What does this book, what is in this book, specifically before we actually get to the meat of the story, okay? So let's see if we can see this. So you're going to open up and you're going to have, title page of what the book is all about, repeating what we're saying. Then you've got the about the author page. Okay, you've got other published stuff on the other side. What else have we got here? Again, another title page. We've got the copyright page. All the copyright information comes in there. We've got the contents page. What else have we got? More title pages. Then we've got what is called the argument, which is the preface. Then you've got a title page for the prologue. Okay, so you can see that's nice and plain. It tells you exactly what's going on there. Then we've actually got the prologue, which is a couple of pages. Then we've got another title page before we get into the actual chapter 1, and you can see that says chapter 1. Okay, so that's just a brief example of the book that I've been reading at the moment, and it has nothing to do. You would not necessarily be writing an ebook, like a Stephen King novel. Okay, but I just wanted to use that as an example. Okay, I could grab any other book that we've got here, A Rich Dad Poor Dad, and just quickly thumb through that, which is people are going to be writing things like that. So you've got an about me page. You've got other books by the author, title page. You've got the copyright. You've got the contents page coming up there. Then you've got the introduction, which is a few pages. And then you've got the title page of part 1. Okay, so there you go. Two books. They're two real books, completely different subject matters, but I wanted to illustrate the types of pages that you have in a real book, because if you're going to create your own ebook, it is your book, just because you're not necessarily getting it published, you want it to be as professional as possible. So with that in mind, let's talk about the sections that you need to put in your ebook and have a discussion about them. So the first thing that you need is a front cover. Okay, so on the front cover, you want to have the title, you want to have the author, you can have your logos if that's appropriate. It doesn't have to be overly complex. It doesn't have to be, like a illustration. It can be just something simple with text and color. Just say like we've got here on this book, and that's it. You can put in some, a quotation, a reference. You can put in, a subtitle, anything like that. I think really you're talking about as long as it looks neat and tidy. Neat and tidy is my number one tip for the front cover. Next, you've got to think about the copyright section. Copyright, really important. You've got to put the copyright information. So here you can see we're going to go with the year, some information about how the reader can use the book, i.e. not sharing it themselves, particularly if you're using it to create leads. You don't want someone else to be using it on your behalf. And then any other information that you feel is relevant with regards to the copyright, okay? You could put in your website, things like that, okay? On this page, you don't want to put the headers and footers and page numbers because this is kind of before that you start processing those pages, okay? Next we want to talk about is the contents page, okay? Again, this is something I look on a lot of ebooks and I don't even bother with this. I don't know if they think, people aren't going to read it or they're going to read it and they're just going to read the whole of the book. A lot of people, we read books, particularly non-fiction books. We want to get to specific pieces of content. And this is why the internet, YouTube has become so popular because people look for looking for those keywords, okay? So you want to put the contents page so people can flick through it and they can see what subject matters are being discussed throughout the book so they can go to those sections, okay? Then we want to go to talk about an introduction. Now, an introduction, this is going to be 1, 2, 3 sentences, maybe a paragraph or maybe 2. Sometimes you have an introduction that can be a couple of pages. Now, this is all going to be dependent upon the size of your book. You're not going to have a couple of pages of introduction if your ebook is only 10 pages long, for example. But if your ebook is, 100 pages long, 3 pages of an introduction probably is okay and would work. Okay, so you want to be introducing yourself, you want to be introducing the subject matter, going over what is going to be discussed throughout the book, okay, and kind of giving like a mini summary of what to expect, okay. You don't want to talk too much about yourself because we're going to be talking about that in the next section, okay. Hey, now we're on to the introduction. We can have those page numbers, the headers and the footers, for example. Then we've got the About Me page. Now, the About Me page is all about yourself, okay? You're talking about yourself and why you are writing this book, why you're the expert, and why, you can help other people or, advise or educate people on the subject matter, okay? Okay, now the About Me page can be part of the introduction page, or it can be separate. And it can go at the front of the book, it could go at the end of the book. It all depends on how you see it working with the rest of the book, okay? Then you want to do something that I see quite a lot of people don't do. And this is the title pages, which I kind of mentioned that on those 2 proper paper books that I showed you, that for the start of the chapters, they have a page that basically says what it is. It breaks up the flow of reading. And sometimes in ebooks, particularly because you're reading it on screen, it's just a constant flow of text. This is why for me personally, sometimes I personally struggle reading massive blog posts on one page because sometimes they're not very well broken up. So I recommend that you have a whole page with just the title of what the next chapter is all about, so they can really see a break between them, okay? Now, obviously on those pages you don't want headers and footers because, as I say, they're a break between the pages, okay? Now, what we're going to talk about is resources page. Now, again, this can go at the front, this can go at the end, and this is just basically a way for you to drive people from the book to elsewhere. You know, different sorts of resources that you feel will be appropriate, that supplement the information that you're providing. And these, of course, can be your own properties. Now, in addition to this, and kind of the same sort of thing, calls to action. You want to have calls to action throughout your book, okay? Because you want to continue the journey with this visitor. Now, you've used this ebook, you've either sold this to someone or you've given it to someone as a lead magnet, as a, you know, to get those leads. You want to continue that process. So you want to have calls to action to basically tell these people, now do this, go to these websites, go to these places. You know, they're a great way to create traffic. Okay, now you can put these on every single page. You could have a subheading that says something like, you know, for further information, go to this website, or, you know, to get my 10 steps or whatever, check this out. To watch the supplementary video, go here. You know, that supplements the content that is on the page. You could also have a calls to action on the About Me page, your introduction page, you know, just to kind of flesh out those sections and basically say, you know, you're going to, on introduction stage, you're going to have this information, but really jump across to the website and check out this additional information or product or service that is going to help you out. So we're going to have those sections. Now I'm just going to go through a few pages and just some ebooks, and just show you a few things, point a few things out, you know, that will be helpful. First one, you can see this book. This is literally, for this one, I just wanted to show you the cover, and you can see that this is super simple. It's nice. It's simple and plain, but it is graphical, okay? And it's got the logo in the right-hand corner. It's got some information at the bottom. You know exactly what's going on there. But as I say, it is really simple. Anyone could knock out a cover like this. Trust me. Now this is one by HubSpot, and you can see on the very last page they've got additional resources. These are like their calls to action. They're basically they're trying to get people to click on these pages to, you know, get consultations. Now this is a Grant Cardone ebook, and on every single page in his book he has the logo of the book cover. And he also has all of his social media. So you can see he's got Twitter, he's got his Facebook, he's got his YouTube. He's actually got his copyright on the page, address, phone number, and website. Okay, so it's got everything, and that's on every single page. Okay, so that's something that can work as well. Then we've got one. This is an ebook by Neil Patel, top marketer. Now, this is his About Me page. You can see you've got a nice big smiley photograph of him, and you've got two sentences which talk about himself and his big name. You know, everything's there. It's just a nice, simple page, just to, you know, reconfirm, you know, who you're dealing with. Okay. So then we move on to Pat Flynn's book. This is all about affiliate marketing. Now this is massive. This book. This is kind of when I was talking about, you know, possibly having a long introduction. You know, this is what you're talking about. But just again, you've got a pretty simple cover. I mean, I know it's got a graphical image there on the bottom, but the rest is relatively simple. Then we've got a nice contents page, and this couldn't be any simpler if it tried. Table of contents. It has what number chapter it is across the left hand side, and then it's repeated with these titles, and then underneath it says what the chapter is, and then on the right hand side it has the numbers, page 3, page 9, 22, 37, so on and so forth. It then has title pages that are nice and break up the flow of the books. Okay, so if we just look at the next one, is on page 9, so you can see he's got this quite a large and lengthy introduction before we then get to the next title page. Okay, so that is that breaks up the flow of the reading. You know, at the bottom you can see he has got his headers and he's got his page numbers like we would recommend anyway. And I think at the end he has calls to action right at the end, emails and links to his podcast, blogs. He talks about various different other free gifts and stuff here, so there we go. Okay, I just wanted to talk to you about these ebooks and basically say, how simple it is to put them together, but specifically talk about the sections, because as I said at the start of this video, so many people will just stick a cover and then start talking about the content. You see the cover, you scroll up, and then suddenly it doesn't even say chapter 1 or whatever. It just starts going straight into content, and you're completely missing the trick there. You're completely missing the trick. No leads are going to be there. You're not going to garner any trust or brand loyalty there. People are going to read very little of it. So if you found this video of any benefit, you hit that like button, and of course smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time I drop one of these videos. I hope this has been an informative one for you, and we'll see you in the next video.